Hello and welcome to the Midtable and Up podcast. On this episode, we will be discussing that I've gone with an early kickoff win, and for a simple reason, it's just that if you're playing on the Friday night or even the 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday, and if you win the game, you know that your whole weekend is set. Then you can just relax. You don't have to. It doesn't matter about anything else. Your weekend is sorted. Exactly. You can go have some beers. Relax and just have a fun time,
because it does make or break, especially when especially when you're going to the games. It does make or break your weekend a little bit.
No, it does. Yeah,
it makes or breaks the rest of my week until the next game.
Like it's very true.
It's not just the day and the day after.
Yeah, but just like specifically when you have that say 12:30 kickoff and you win it, you then look at all these other games going ahead and you go in. Fuckers, like whatever these results will be, they'll be, like with...
My main issue is whenever we're picked for an early kickoff, we're obviously on TV, is that we haven't won on Sky for like 5 or 6... Like, we did this season for the first time in like 6 years. So our record on, so whenever we've got an early kickoff, we're like, well, that's it. We've lost. That's it. My weekend's finished. I don't even need to watch it. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
So, I can appreciate that.
No, yeah, because it's one of them as well. It's one of them as well where... If obviously you lose it, your whole weekend you then go, oh, for fuck's sake. And but then, whereas instead, like if you lose, say the 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday, it ruins your Sunday evening a bit. But it's not like drastically affected your whole weekend. But
I think the other thing about winning the early kickoffs is obviously points are better than games in hand.
Yeah, that's
the table instantly looks better, and then. If the other team wins, where you're in no worse a position than you were before,
yeah, exactly.
Or they don't, or they don't win, and then you've gone right up the table. So
yeah,
you can only get better from where you started. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah, no. So yeah, as I said, it's just a nice little thing, especially where if you've gone to the stadium and then you've won, you come out at say like roughly 2:30, 2:45, and then you're like right, okay, yeah, let's go have some beers or something, and it's just as I said, just a nice little karma. So that was my automatic Europa League spot, number 6 early kickoff win. Sorry, not the automatic early Europa League spot. Moving into your number 5 though, Matt, what are you going with?
So mine are just kind of generally match day pub rituals. And it's not just match day rituals, it's pub. You have to have the pub in there. So for me, so there's 2 I want to talk about. So obviously there's the local one in Stratford that I go to, but it's also, especially when I wasn't living with my family, it was, I don't have to go and see my mum and dad because my mum and dad are coming up to go watch West Ham. So I just meet them for a beer before and after in one of the bars in Stratford. But something that also stands out to me that I've only been to once, so isn't really my match day ritual, but I find really interesting, is obviously since we moved and Stratford, all the bars are really expensive and they're full and they're not really traditional boozers. They're all these like hipster sort of bars. All of these people, there's a close in kind of in between Stratford High Street DLR station and the stadium. There's like a housing estate that's been there for years. And on Wilmerley Close, there is a little square that is just in this middle of this housing estate, and it's got like an offie, like a corner shop on the corner, and literally on game days it's just full of West Ham fans buying tinnies in the off license and then sitting in the square. So much so that they've developed a little bit of secret. So you go in there and it's not like the rest of the shop's closed. It's basically just a pub that sells tins of beer. I mean, you just walk up, you tell them what you want. It's cold, and they just give it to you out the thing. And there's great atmosphere there because they're a proper cultured, colourful bunch of people.
I'm not sure I'd use the word cultured.
Of people that want to sit on the side of the street and drink beers. They're only the most passionate fans. So it's a bit of the bowling about that. Sticky floors on the corner, drinking a Foster.
Sticky floors is always where there's like, I feel like that's character building.
That's the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. It's character building, isn't it? Sticky floors. I feel like anywhere that's experienced some stuff, you know, that's got character about it. It's got sticky flaws.
I've got a few battle scars. One
Exactly.
of them smashed in, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Could do with a bit of love, but you love her anyway.
Yeah, no, sticky flaws. Yeah, it somewhat ties into like my number 3. I've gone with the game day ritual just because you like it kind of bigs it up on that, and you kind of it's like supporting a football club it's effectively religion, really, over here. Like you put on the clothes and. You know, you go there, and depending on how like superstitious you are, you might even, you know, like have to like do something in a set pattern all the time for luck.
Do you have any superstitions? I'm going to ask a question.
Not.
I don't. I don't wear a certain West Ham shirt because it was my first season at the London Stadium, and we were just awful. So I wrote off that shirt. I can't wear it anymore.
I mean, I feel like there's there's got to be a lot of West Ham shirts you'd potentially write off if you're going on.
I mean, that was the only one because it's the only West Ham shirt I wore to a game. I've written off my shirts because I just buy them and they can't wear them.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So like, I don't really think I'm too superstitious in general, but and this kind of superstition doesn't really just apply to football. It was something that I would really notice when I was a small kid going to school, and if I didn't get dressed in a set way, like in a set order, I'd get told off and sent out of the class. And then also as well, I know that sounds really weird. And then also as well, if I didn't dress in a set way going to a football game, we'd probably lose. But again, I don't know how much impact there is in that because we'd lose anyway. So it would be pants first. Socks second.
Yeah. Socks second. No, he's lost me.
No, socks second. Socks second.
Okay.
Trousers.
Right. So walking around pants and socks.
Trousers and top last, right? That would be the order. And if I ever diverged away from this, it would always seem to be the games that we would lose. And then equally, again, if I ever diverged from this going to school, that would always seem to be the day that I got detention or whatever.
Carried this through for the whole of your life?
No, not really, because the thing is with West Ham, right? So the thing is with West Ham, right? We lose enough anyway. So even when I did, so it got to the point where even when I was dressing in the order that I thought I should have been dressing in, we were still losing. You know, in some terrible seasons we've had, we were still losing. Yeah. So
I think that's the thing. It kind of demystifies it when your team's shit.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, though, I can't remember us really ever winning when I had dressed out of that order. So
every day. So
when I was 9, I had a properly lucky shirt. It had Clark on the back. We didn't lose a home game all season.
That's pretty good.
That was as good as a luck.
Really
fast. I was like 9.
There was one shirt that I kind of retired because I went and got the autographs of like Adrian and stuff on it, and that was the last year at Upton Park. And after I'd got that shirt, you know, we beat teams like that we basically should have been beating. We only lost after I bought that shirt, we only lost one more game at home all season, and that was to Swansea towards the end of the season. And yeah, I kind of, because of the autographs and that, I didn't want to wash the shirt, so I wore it to like 2 games and then kind of retired it. But
again.
Yeah. No, the only time I ever brought it out again was when I knew I was meeting more footballers, so I was like, oh, they can sign the shirt. But yeah, so there was that, and then probably my other closest sort of like, again, I don't want to say superstition, but yeah, no, it kind of was. So again, that same season at Upton Park, again, one of like our only really good seasons of the last few years, right? So you'll probably remember around like the back end of 2015, that kind of Christmas time, and this is going to be somewhat embarrassing, but you'll kind of you'll kind of remember that
safe space.
You'll remember at that point, right? Justin Bieber changed his musical direction, and he had songs like I can't whatever, I can't even remember the bloody names of them now. But he changed.
Was it Tattooed Bieber?
Yeah, it was Tattooed Bieber.
Very...
And He had songs like Love Yourself and stuff, right? And then I listened to Bieber on the way to again one of the earlier games that we started winning that season, and
this just Bieber.
That one.
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? Love yourself. That kind of crap, basically. Because I'd listened to that on the way there and we won. I then listened to that all the way up until we lost to Swansea. Because I was like, I've not lost yet. So I was like, I have to listen to it every single game. And then we eventually lost to Swansea, and I was like, right, I can stop listening to this on the train now. So
I remember when I was younger, we used to drive up from Essex to Ipswich, like an hour drive, and we had this Ipswich CD of purely Ipswich band song. And you get to
it burned, or was it like a legit CD?
No, it's a proper CD that they sold. It was called Singing the Blues. And we get to the Ipswich roundabout, you're like, can we put on the CD? And like everyone in the car just like singing all the songs that we had. So had like our FA Cup final song, just all the good stuff. And it was just like, and I knew all the songs from the album. And that was just like our routine going into the ground, like on match day.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that's a pretty valid one. So yeah, like kind of like game day rituals, that kind of thing. That was your number 5, wasn't it, Matt? So and yeah, like my number 3 kind of tied in. So yeah. Your number 5 then, Simon.
Yeah. So can we just pause quickly? I just need to get my touch.
Yeah, no worries. We'll just keep rolling.
Yeah. I'm kind of also need a charger. So if Matt's going for a charger,
make sure your laptop's not on the verge of dying.
Fancy rats or normal? I'll go for what fancy ones? I don't know
what. I don't care, whatever you don't want.
I don't care either. That one's in the hand that's easiest to give from. So.
Sorry, I thought my laptop was fully charged. I don't know. I think this is dead. Oh, George, I'm building a new PC, mate.
Oh, what? You're building a new PC? Oh, what are you making it with? What components are you using?
I'll send you the full list, but 5900X, the new AMD CPU, and
so you basically have me goad him into doing
6800. I'm either going to get a 3070, a GTX 3070.
Isn't that like 500 quid? The 3070, yeah.
Or the Radeon 6800.
Man, yeah, that's about 500 quid as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so I've went for about 100 mark. So altogether, it's about, I think, 1,500 quid.
Are they available yet? Because obviously, like everyone, they've been like the PlayStation 5. They've been so difficult to get.
The 600 or 3070?
Both of them, haven't they? They've been like.
So I found a 6800 on Amazon.
Oh, did you? Oh, nice.
Fireworks going on over there. Oh, that's fine. Sorry.
But I didn't buy it because I haven't paid yet, and I could pay for it, but.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much going to make my decision when I get paid on the 20th.
Yeah,
so
good shout.
What's available?
Are you upgrading the CPU?
I'm building from scratch.
Oh, so you're building a whole new brand. You're not just upgrading. You're building a whole new thing. Ooh. So what CPU are you going to go with?
The AMD 5600X. It's the new one.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got. Yeah, nice one. I think I might. I think I've got the 3600. I think something like that. I've got 6 cores.
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about it more after.
Yeah.
Sorry about
cool. Yeah. So yeah. Right. Yeah. Going into what was it? Your number 5. Then Matt, your number 5.
Number 4. Yeah. Wait, don't we?
We've done your 5. It's my 5.
It's your 5.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Moving into your number 5, Simon.
So we've already spoken about my number 5 playoffs.
Cool. Yeah. My number 5 was outside of the box screamers. Moving into the Champions League spots. Then Matt, your number 4.
So my one, we kind of touched on it earlier, but we didn't really go into detail. So I think we can go into it again. Is particularly the pub atmosphere during the 2018 World Cup. Particularly Being very specific with that.
Rest in peace, Cafe Football.
Yeah, rest in peace, Cafe
I've
Football.
got a note in here that says "Rip Cafe Football."
Before you elaborate, Matt, I'm just gonna say, so mine is like, my number 4 is just pub with the lads. So, yeah, is that in it?
Absolutely. So a little bit about. So this like a few years ago, well, 2018. Simon was still living at home in
Felixstowe.
Thank you. And so we all decided to meet up kind of halfway in Stratford. And and we went to this pub called Cafe Football. Rest in peace, Cafe Football. It is no longer with us. But brilliant bar, beer towers that George now has.
Yeah, God, I forgot about that.
We need to crack one of those out.
We do. We should. Yeah, in the summer, I should bring one around. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, 8-pint beer towers.
Yeah.
On one classic day, we got through 5 between 4 people.
I think we got through more than 5, didn't we? Oh, maybe you are right. Maybe 5.
Very blurry.
We had 5 towers, but we had pints before with lunch.
Right.
As well.
Yeah.
Lunch as well. So, God forbid, I don't know how any of us got home that day.
I don't even remember going home.
No.
I think
There was a moment. No, there was a moment, Matt, where you were like just conked out. Like it was. I think it was right before. What was it like the like Senegal Japan game or something like that?
It's Matt on that game as well.
Yeah.
But because it was great, because the time we went back the game after, the bartender clearly remembered Matt and was like, "Oh, your mate's awake now, is he?" It's like,
away with people. Mate, that was an intense day. I don't.
No, that was a brilliant day. Again, but going back to that early kickoff thing, because our game was the early kick. We won that game 6-1 against Panama, and then you're like, right, I could enjoy the whole rest of my day now because we won 6-1.
But we run the beers from 12 to.
I know.
Oh man,
like, we were absolutely smashing.
And it was summer, and we were. Because we're all football fans, we were the life. We were the start. You know those people in grounds where they start chants?
That was us. We started at least half a dozen of those "It's coming home" chants, didn't we?
And there's nothing better than when you're watching England games in the pub, particularly. You don't know the national anthem until you've heard it sung out of tune and out of time in a pub. Like, that's just the best moment.
But even then, though, I remember it. I think it might have even been the day before, actually, Matt, because that was the Sunday, wasn't it, the Panama game? And I think the Saturday, I think before, like we'd went to the inn and we watched all 3 of the games at the inn as well. And we got to like the Germany-Sweden game, and we were so pissed by that point that I think for the whole game we were just in the pub singing "Turn German bombers in the air." Like for like the whole game.
The only people in there.
Yeah, and then after
no one wants to listen to you two singing that.
Yeah, I bet. And we were absolutely smashed. And then we went for a curry. Then when the game finished, we went for a curry and that. And it was just it was such a good day, such a good weekend, and it's just been fun. And there was a solid point where Simon, where you were at uni, and then you'd come home for like half term, and we'd go to the pub like 4 days on the trot, like to watch the Monday night football, and then the Champions League on the Tuesday, Champions League on the Wednesday, then Europa League on the Thursday.
The thing is, there were also weeks when it'd be like League Cup. We weren't picking.
No.
It's an excuse to go to the pub. We're gonna get drunk. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, no, it was just a fun time. So yeah, like pub with the lads and that. I think it's just a good thing, isn't it? Like I kind of only really put it at 4 because like football kind of like takes that to another level, but you can still go to the pub and just have a fun time without football. So that's probably why it's a little lower. But
although it is 90% of our friendship.
Yeah, when we could go to the pub.
Yeah.
But then it's weird, without the pub, we actually ended up making a podcast. So, yeah.
Very, very true.
I know, exactly. So, some kind of productivity there. But yeah, it's just fun, isn't it? Football at the pub and that kind of thing. And yeah, just beers, pints and football. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, and it was also, obviously, that was a Sweden game. That was my highlight.
Have you just being abusive?
I was just being abusive to the one Swede that was brave enough to.
In full kit as well.
No, I'm with you on that. I do kind of think like you could tell the whole pub was like an English pub. And
I was just saying what everyone was thinking.
Yeah, like why would you? I just don't know why. Like if you're Swedish and you know you're obviously going to want Sweden to win, but why would you go to a clearly English pub and just watch like in your Sweden shirt and watch it? Yeah.
It's not like London's not a multicultural city.
No, because it is.
But a place where a load of Swedish fans go.
I thought so.
So
yeah.
No, I agree. And obviously, when that IKEA in Stratford got raided. God.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I remember after that Sweden game was, do you remember we went to Marks and Spencer's to look at waistcoats?
Oh my God, yeah. I'm sure I bought a waistcoat because which I then wore for the day of the semi-final. I wore that waistcoat to work the day of the semi-final. It was just kind of brilliant, to be honest. And but yeah, I nearly got like trampled to death when that first goal went in because I jumped. I jumped, but obviously the floor was so slippery and someone has like slipped over, and because I'm mid-air, I've got like nothing to hold on to, so it's just taken me down, and then as a result, it's all gone like dominoes, and about 8 people have fallen on me.
Well, everyone's grabbed the person behind.
You fell onto me, George. Andy was on top of us, and it was like
oh man, and then
you somehow didn't get involved in it. And I can't ever.
I did. I was in the middle because you might remember there was you guys, and then I also knew some other people. So I was in the middle of 2 people, like you guys. So I saw it all happen. It was pretty good.
Honestly, I felt like, you know that bit in Game of Thrones where Jon Snow is nearly trampled to death in the battle, but it was a bit like that for half a second, and then I was able to get up. I was like, yes, I can start jumping around and celebrating now that I'm not going to die. But yeah, no, it was a good day. It was a good day, and that was mine and Matt's number 4, basically. Your Champions League spot, Simon.
So my number 4, it's sort of linked to that. It's creative football chants. There's nothing better when someone's come up with an absolute doozy.
Yeah.
Which like no one would even.
One's on the fly, I take it. Yeah.
Yeah, or like just ones that like I don't even know how you come up with that. One of my favourites was Ipswich were playing Southend away from home, and someone starts to chant "The wheels on your house go round and round," which is just inherently funny, easy to do, and it's just great. Like in the away end, just like giving that kind of abuse. It's I just don't know how you come up with some of them as well. Like,
oh mate, and they're always that you know.
Yeah, and do you remember like when that Will Grigg chant was going like you couldn't
Will Grigg's on fire.
So good. Like everyone loved it. It was really well done, and it was like, I just love it when fans come together and come up with a really like creatively good football chant. It's really good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I don't have that level of creativity.
No, me neither. I think that's why I appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you're like,
Well, yeah, it was like when we were watching the Sweden game, and it was just you're like, you're shit, but your birds are fit. You're shit, but your birds are fit. That was just fucking class, wasn't it? That kind of thing. It's just, but no, it's that element of like creativity. But even then, like some of the songs that you kind of sing about players and stuff, some of them I kind of think like, where have you got that from? Like one of my personal favourite ones is the one that we sing about Christian Daly, and it's just, oh Christian Daly, you are the love of my life, oh Christian, which is obviously just parodying I Love You Baby, but then it's like, I'd let you shag my wife, oh Christian Daly, I want curly hair too. And now every time I meet someone new with curly hair, that song enters my head. Like I can't not think of it. Like it's just crazy. Yeah.
The other one, the good Ipswich one that I heard recently, we've got a guy called Idris El Mazouni, and you're like, that's quite a difficult name, they'll never get that one in. Yeah. Saturday night, and I like the way you move, El Mazouni. Like, come on, that's pretty good. Like, that's a really complicated name to fit in the song. I also love it when there's a bit of give and take as well between like 2 sets of fans.
Yeah.
It's like we were playing Colchester, so they start singing "You're Just a Small Town in Norwich,"
and
we respond, "You're Just a Bus Stop in Chelmsford." It's like that's on the fly. Someone's like come up with the response, which is just brilliant.
Well, while we're on the topic of this, that's
it's a little bit like it's a little bit like when I think it was someone like Chelsea or something when they won the Champions League, and they were like, "Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that," and they were playing someone naff, like I think in like the cup, and it was like a League One team, and they've gone, "Johnston's Pay Trophy, you'll never sing that," in response. It's just that kind of thing.
I think, that's on my list. It's just giving it to opposition fans. It's such a massive part of the game, and I think it's part of what I look forward to. I wouldn't want to go back to football. I could probably do it for a little while, but permanently, I wouldn't want to go back to football without away fans. Just because for them, it's a load of fun because you're with your most die-hard, your most passionate fans, unless you're, in the London Stadium and for Man United because you're all just from London. And it's just intense, and you give it, and they're giving it back to you, and for me that's a whole game we play at football. It keeps you entertained, especially because some of the football could be fucking shit.
Well,
it's not the most exciting game in the world.
Well, it's like when we're normally stuck in a relegation battle or something. If we then take the lead against someone, the first song that comes out is "How Shit Must You Be? We're winning at home" or something like that. It's like.
But again, it's that banter almost with yourself. It's I remember Ipswich played Chelsea in the FA Cup the week before we beat Arsenal in the League Cup. I think I said this before. And we're losing 7-0, and the Ipswich fans are singing "Bring on the Arsenal." It's like it's just fantastic. Like just turning a shit moment into something quite funny.
That's a solid entry there, Simon. So moving into the automatic Champions League spots, Matt, you're number 3.
My number 3 are cup upsets.
Cup sets.
Obviously, they're not fun when they happen to your team, which we have a lot of.
We've had a fair few recently.
Wimbledon, Oxford, I can name a few.
Mate, we've had enough of those. Jesus.
But I, when they're not happening to West Ham, they're great. I think they are. And for me, the best cup sets are when the smaller club is at home. When Chelsea or Spurs or someone has to go to some pokey little ground in the UK, play on a crap pitch, play against people that are just going to put 10 men behind the ball and slide through you at the first chance. And the fans are just up for it because this is like
the biggest game they'll ever play.
Yeah.
No, it's final. So it's a massive game for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I'd rather watch like Newport play some massive team because I'm like, hang on, they're going to give this a go here.
Yeah.
And play football. And I love cup sets.
Good cup ups. The thing is, I think my issue is they don't happen as much as they used to.
No.
The squad is so big, they're so talented. The top teams have so many players. Even their rotating squads are better than pretty much every other team in the league.
Yeah.
So
I think it's also it feels much like that this season because there are no fans. You can't really create that matchbox atmosphere.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Like when you
talk training exercise.
It's like the siege mentality that kind of feeds from the crowd as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're in some pokey little ground, and they're like right next to you, and they're going to give it to you for 90 minutes.
They have to get a changing room in a trailer outside.
Honestly, exactly. Like they go, and it's just like the smallest, cramped little thing. I think, especially in these stadiums nowadays, Premier League, like modern Premier League grounds, this is changing rooms in general. That's so nice.
I mean, you see that seat. It's like an auditorium. It's
enormous. The ones in the London Stadium are supposed to be nice, and Tottenham as well now. In their new stadium, it's supposed to be like you think you would give the away dressing room just be like a square, put it in the basement, turn the heat on,
which you all have to share.
Yeah. But that's my number 3. Cup sets.
Nice one, mate. And then moving into your number 3, then Simon.
My number 3 we kind of probably sort of discussed earlier on, but I love the dark arts of football.
Yeah.
It's the generic dark arts of the little elbows. Again, it's kind of a bit of a dying breed, but I think of like the masters of it were the Italians, in like the 06 Italians. The little just like shirt pulls, a little get your elbows out, nudge a few people out the way.
Yeah.
just really like bitty. Just
I think VAR's going to get rid of that.
that's the problem. I think VAR is removing.
It's a little bit weird because I think it's almost kind of evolving in that sense of that. Yeah, it's like the elbows and things. It's more of dying out, but like like players going up for cramp and stuff if they're winning and yeah, just being a little bit like like wasting a little bit of time here and stuff there, and being a bit cute with like if you feel a bit of contact and you're winning and you're going nowhere, just throw yourself to the ground, get the free kick, waste the time.
That actually is Harry Kane.
Yeah.
He holds the ball up. He does it in such a way that someone's going to touch him and he's just going to fall to the ground. Gets his team up the pitch and on the attack. Like it's a really important thing in football, and I think sometimes overlooked. I think people kind of sneer at it. But
I agree. I think some people think it's a little bit below the belt, which it's probably not the most honourable of things, but at the same time, you just got to do what you got to do to get over the line, haven't you?
You've got to be a bastard.
It doesn't matter if you play well and lose.
Yeah.
If you play on the board and lose, well,
who cares?
You get nothing for it.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're absolutely right. So, no, I really... kind of like a solid shout. Number 3 there, Simon. Then mine, we did discuss just like game day rituals, that kind of thing. So moving into our runner-up spots, then Matt, what's your number 2, mate? So my number 2 is a more recent one, and it's something I've really started to enjoy.
Yeah,
I've started rewatching one with Simon, and it's these kind of club. I don't really know what to call them, but they're like club dressing room documentaries.
Like fly on the wall, isn't it?
Like fly on the wall documentaries. I don't really know if there's a proper name for them, but I'm starting to really like them. I've just started the one with Leeds from last season.
Take Me Home.
I think it's Take Me Home. I'm rewatching, or we're kind of rewatching the one with Spurs.
Yeah.
I love Sunderland Till I Die.
The City one I've watched. That one's excellent.
All or Nothing City. They're just great, and for me, it's really interesting. I told it it's not related to football, but I really like Drive to Survive, the Formula One style documentary. I don't really know what you call them. I love them. I think they're really, really good at that, and it's a very new thing as well.
It gives a good insight as to.
Well, I mean, I think the other one is the Last Dance. No, again, not football.
Yeah.
Again, it's in the
dressing room.
The glimpse inside, isn't it, of elite
exactly.
Sport.
Yeah.
Seeing the mentality, seeing the drives, seeing all the things that go into the Saturday. You see the 90 minutes. They've had to work all week for it, and you don't. I know you know it, but you sort of go, you probably have training for an hour a day. Like, you didn't do that much, did you?
Yeah.
They do like tactical briefings, they'll do workouts, training sessions. It's a lot that they have to do to make sure they're ready for the weekend. And I think it's really, it opens your eyes a little bit to see it.
Yeah. And of course, because it's in the past, you know what's happening. So it's interesting to see it from another angle.
Well, it kind of gives you like an insight into like the day-to-day basis of how not only football clubs operate, but also, like what, as Simon kind of said, what makes a football game happen, basically, like how it gets there. I think I've watched like the start of the Spurs one. I've not watched the City one. I imagine it is fascinating. Probably the only reason why I've not watched it is just because that City team was just so good. I feel like there's not a lot of drama in it.
The best thing about that City one was watching Pep.
Yeah.
And seeing some of his team talks and how he thinks about. That's what I got most out of that team. As you say, there's not too much drama in that City dressing room.
I would say.
Whereas if you watch something like Sunderland Till I Die, that's pretty much all drama. It's all fucking hell. This is an absolute shit show, and
the stakes are definitely up there, with Sunderland Till I Die. But the other one I was going to say, which isn't the same, but I did find quite interesting from a West Ham fan perspective, is that it was on BBC Three.
Yeah, is it that Jack Sullivan thing?
Jack Sullivan thing.
Yeah.
As much as I hate the board and all of that, it was some of it. It was mostly obviously about the women's football team.
Yeah.
But there were elements of it that you kind of got some insight.
No, I bet. As you see,
it's this interest. Obviously, I'm a fan of the club, so I'm gonna have I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend all the others.
But even then though, like it still gives you an insight in how a football club operates that you, again, wouldn't necessarily have without these kind of documentaries. Just, I know what you're referring to. The only reason why I've not watched it is just because it would make me want to punch Jack Sullivan in the face. So, yeah.
To be fair,
You want to do that anyway. So.
Yeah,
Jack
exactly.
endears himself in that show. I would say that I think you would come out thinking more of Jack Sullivan than I think you would.
Probably. You're probably right.
It's his fucking dad.
Yeah,
And you can
and not just that. And I know everyone is, everyone grows up and everyone's different when he's a kid and stuff like that. But it's just as well, I still can't get over how he would be the one to break the news of us signing a player before the club. Like that we'd sign a player and instantly David Sullivan would be like, on the phone to him, we brought in Shamak, and then he would be the one to put that on Twitter before the club had even made a statement, before even Sky Sports and that knew it was official. And he did that for years, and that that kind of thing. I've got no patience with him for that. I know he was a kid, but
yeah, I think he's grown up a little bit.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't do that anymore. Yeah.
I think also that's in show. We ran like a shit show.
Yeah. Let's be real. David Sullivan should never have been giving that information to his then, 13-year-old boy to put on Twitter. But yeah, it's just that's like probably why I've not watched it. But yeah, no, that's cool. So that was your.
Sorry, while we're on the topic of sports documentaries, another couple of good ones. One Night in Turin about the Italian.
Watch that. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
And Bobby Robson, More Than a Manager, is also excellent. Just wanted to get those two plugs in there. Check.
While we're just doing shout outs, there's also that First Team Juventus one. I haven't watched it, but apparently it's quite good.
I think it's in Italian. I think that's the only reason why I haven't.
Oh yeah, you don't like subtitle things, do you?
Well, I don't mind them, but you had the choice of the 3 English ones or the Italian ones.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't watched it, so it could be a load of shit. But yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
That's me. That's my number 2. Simon, what's your number 2?
So my number 2, it's kind of a bit more encompassing. It's like a theme, but it's like the fact that as a football fan, you can connect with anybody in the world via football.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest I've had of this is, so we go to a school in Kennington, we do some charity work there, and you're talking to the children, and they're asking me about the Premier League, like that, and instantly, like it's the global game, it's the world's game. Everyone knows it. It's the massive brand that is kind of English football as well. But you can just, if you find someone any corner of the world and you say you're English, generally they'll go, oh, London, oh, the Queen, and football. That's like the key tenet of being English. And like everyone is happy to talk about football and sport. Like it's a great feeling. Like you can just connect and talk for hours with a random stranger. We've done. I did this. So I went to an away game at Barnsley, and I was on my own. And like I was just in the pub, and some lads were like, "Oh, come over." Spent like 7-8 hours with them, just like we just talk about football, talk about the game. It's just interesting, isn't it? Like it's just a natural language that you can just kind of talk to anyone.
You're absolutely right. I think you're spot on with just how quickly you can make conversation with someone about football, and it's so interesting. And the other thing I'm finding more and more that I think in America, football has never been the dominating sport there because they've got so many other sports and they're the world champion at all of them. But we're seeing it more and more in the younger generation that, like the teenagers becoming adults now, that they are actually really interested. They support teams like they'll support Liverpool. Oh, fuck me, like great.
And that one statement like thinks Leonardo Bonucci is their favourite player. Did you see that, George? That map of every state's favourite players. And obviously there's like Pulisic and Ronaldo. In one state, randomly, Leonardo Bonucci. Whose favourite player is Leonardo Bonucci? Not even his own mother would have picked him.
Wait, one second. I'm trying to find what state it was. My American map knowledge isn't that good. It's in between, I think, Colorado. One sec, boys. Let me get the state. I feel like one person has got together and just gone, we're just going to fuck with this result. Here we go. So it's... So weirdly, Bruno Fernandes is on there as well in North Dakota. In South Dakota is Bonucci. South Dakota.
Something in the Dakota waters.
Famous for having nothing in it apart from a road.
Yeah. Well, maybe, like, because at least the Bruno Fernandes one, like, Man United fans are like rats. They're fucking everywhere, aren't they? So, I can get with him being their best player at the minute. I could get that. But yeah, Leonardo da Bucci, that's by far and away a bit of an obscure one. But then
Dele Alli as well. I'd
say, yeah, Dele Alli. Who's fucking got Dele Alli? Some Dele Alli's mums out there. Vermont had Dele Alli, and because I'm looking at the exact map that we're talking.
Do you reckon though that's because I can't remember where Dele Alli's dad's from now though? Because I know Dele Alli doesn't speak to his dad or anything, but that might be, again, I could be completely wrong, but that might be where his dad's from, and they might then think that that's a link. I'm clutching. I
don't know. Maybe we're stumbling upon. So Oregon on the west coast, Sadio Mane. I can understand that more than Bonucci.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. The rest of them is just Pulisic, Messi, or Ronaldo.
It's kind of standard. You'd expect those, but yeah, Leonardo Bonucci was another one. But anyway, go back to
back to football.
But yeah, you were going to say something about American fans, and then we kind
of so no, it's just I see more and more young American fans who are obviously interested in football, getting interested in the English game. So yeah, I think it's great. And just generally agree. It is that kind of universal. You can talk to anyone about it. So
no, it's a good one, to be honest, because I know what you mean. As soon as you meet someone new, if you establish, pretty much the first thing I ask someone is, like, you into football, and then if they say yes, you've just got, then you've got a conversation sorted for hours.
When they say no, it's tough.
I mean, to be
fair, it's a bit harder now.
No, to be fair, I don't mind that so much. But when they say yes, you just know that you don't even have to think. But yeah, it's weird. So like when I've been to America and stuff, like when we went to Las Vegas, again, we got into a cab, and the cabbie driver, I think he was Indian actually, but obviously just living and working in Vegas, and I could only get like the internet through like Wi-Fi and stuff, and we'd been wandering around, and I knew that we'd been playing that day. We were playing Newcastle, and then the driver's gone, oh, where are you from? And then, as like Simon said, you're like, oh, England, and he's like, oh, London and stuff, and then he's gone, oh, do you like football? And then I was like, yeah, and he was like, oh, who'd you support? And I was like, oh, West Ham. And then he was like, oh, they were playing Newcastle today, weren't they? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, they won 1-0. And I was like, oh, did they get it? Because I was like, I'll have some of that. But yeah, no, it is kind of crazy how it brings everyone together. And going back to that American thing, because obviously they're kind of like the sporting hipsters of the world in that they just either that or just generally quite uncultured. But it's it's kind of weird when you do kind of see that like people from all over the world follow English clubs. Like I still can't get over the fact that Mia Khalifa supports West Ham. I don't know why. Like,
you need more porn stars glimpse with your club after you've got one on the board. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Well, Katy Perry as well, didn't she?
Yeah, but that was because she married Russell Brand, and he's a big West Ham fan. But since they've divorced, I've not seen her had any link to West Ham. So
I don't think you would you?
No, probably not. Especially with the way that marriage ended, they hate each other now, don't they?
Yeah, but I think the reason why football is so globally popular is you just need a ball. Yeah, that's it.
No, that's it.
You don't need any equipment. You don't need gear. You don't need.
Well, that was the thing. There was that English guy that effectively brought football to Brazil. Like 100 odd years or so ago. And then you're right. You can just make a ball out of a bit of paper and, like, wrap a bag around it and you're all set, and that's it. It's a sport for everyone. Sorry?
I said the Brazilians have turned out all right at football.
Yeah, just a little bit. But it's a sport. It's a sport for everyone. It's not like fucking, like bloody polo and shit where you need to be able to afford your own horse and...
mate, what's your problem with polo?
But like,
we had this chat.
Mate, I'm sure polo is a fun enough sport if you play it, yeah. But it's
I
not.
I've got 5 horses to make a team.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be born with a fucking silver spoon in your mouth to be able to have a fucking horse that you can. Like, it's not accessible for the majority of the population.
American football, you need all the padding and all the big. Of gear and
isn't polo just football on horses though? Isn't there a goal?
It's like hockey.
Yeah. It's more like hockey. Isn't it just hockey on a horse?
Yeah.
It's still a goal and you got to whack it in the goal.
Yeah.
So George, we're much closer to them. I bet they serve bovril at polo games.
Yeah, they probably.
I reckon pins.
But as I said, like if you like, it's one thing watching it, but if you want to actually get on and play that, you need to own a fucking horse, which again the majority of the population won't.
Even like,
do you not have a horse, George?
Even like things like ice hockey though and cricket and
you need all this equipment, don't you?
Before you even start, you need like all the gear.
Well, American football, you need about 1,000 refs just to play a game. So.
But that's what I love about football. It's that global connectivity.
Yeah, jumpers for goalposts. There you go, sorted.
Oh, I saw that stupid fucking thing recently on Twitter where it was just like Tom Brady's the most famous.
Oh yeah, when he's got don't get me wrong, like Tom Brady's a big
he needs to go to American football. Let's not.
Yeah. But when you're talking about how famous someone is and he's got 9 million Twitter followers, and you got Messi and Ronaldo on like 300 million. It's not even a.
They don't even tweet anything.
But
this is PR team.
LeBron's got quite a lot though.
LeBron's probably up there.
Because basketball, a little bit like football, you kind of only sort of need a ball. I know you need to create like a hoop, but it's
but you can still do dribbles and take-ons and that. You are and you can, you can shift something out of a wall and aim it, like for a sign or something, But you only really need a ball. And, if you've got a hoop, great, but you can still do basketball-related stuff as long as you've just got the ball.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's such an easy game to play, and it's one of those things. It's kind of that thing where it's like easy to pick up. The rules aren't complicated, really. Anyone can do it. Well, we think we can.
At least try. We at least try.
It's so hard to master. Like it's one of those things like you can do it and it looks easy, but to master it and to be the best, there's a very, very high skill ceiling there. Yeah. Which obviously this is what prevents better.
No, that's fair. So moving into my number 2, I've just got something, like quite nice and simple, a bit homey, probably more family orientated, and that's just watching Match of the Day on the Saturday. It's just calm, innit? Like, to be honest with you, I've probably already watched the highlights before Match of the Day anyway, but it's just nice, isn't it? Used to watch it with like my nan and granddad, still watch it with my granddad, just go in there, have a beer, have some have like some biscuits or something and just watch Match of the Day, and it's just banging theme tune. Match of the Day is pretty much cemented in football, English football culture, and just love it, isn't it?
No, and just on that, mate, I'm going to be honest, the thing I'm probably looking forward to so much after lockdown's over is I just want to go around to my mum and dad's and just watch footy with my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just this.
Yeah,
it's just we do together. We go to West Ham together, and we still FaceTime and stuff before and during the games and have our 2 cents and stuff. But I can't wait to do that. That's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a bit like family thing, and it just watch Match of the Day and whatever. Just a bit of a tradition. And in terms of highlights, they're all on. As I said, the chances are I've probably already watched them before Match of the Day comes on anyway.
Twitter, so
exactly. They're all on YouTube. So, but it's just that nice little thing. The theme song it's just brilliant. Gary Lineker warmly welcomes you in, and you just know for an hour and a half. even like even if your team's lost, you just know which you kind of think, oh, all right, just get this bit over. But you just know you're in for like a calm hour and a half, or best part of an hour and a half. Yeah,
it's like it's not the one that me stands out is it's like it's on a Sunday, it's a calm night, do this with the family, you have a cup of tea, just watch Match of the Day. It's just really good. No, it's an amazing game format.
Yeah, no. So that was my.
I don't want it to ever get cancelled. I think I actually.
No, well, I mean, the thing is as well, like because even then, like obviously the BBC have to pay for the rights to Match of the Day, but obviously if say whoever else bought it, whether that be ITV or whatever, they wouldn't legally be able to call it Match of the Day, but it just wouldn't be the same, would it? It's not.
It'd kind of be like after Top Gear.
Yeah, a little bit like that. But yeah, no. Hopefully they don't ever lose the rights to it. It's just money in it. We'll see. But yeah, that was my number 2. So moving into your number 1 spot, then Matt, what you going with, mate?
We've already kind of spoke about it. It was just about giving it to opposition fans, really.
Yeah.
Massive part of the game. And it's kind of like I said, it's just a game in itself. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
The football at the London Stadium's often shit, so it's a good distraction.
Yeah, and your number 1 then, Simon?
So my number 1 is a feeling that is probably better than any drug you'll ever have. It's the last minute winner.
Oh, yeah.
There's no better feeling in the world than like getting a 94th minute winner. You've won the game, it's done, stick a fork in it.
Sometimes it doesn't even need to be a winner. It's just a draw. Anything last minute.
Yeah.
The goals are just fantastic.
I haven't celebrated a goal like that Lanzini goal.
No.
In a very long time.
And the thing is as well, like even though you've seen the goal go in and you watched it and you've jumped around repeatedly, whatever room you're in, just screaming. The very next day, I can't even tell you how many times I watched those highlights again and again and again and again and again. Yeah.
Over. It's particularly good though when you've been absolutely shit in the game as well.
Yes. And you've nicked it out of nothing somehow. Yeah.
It's always a shit house header. Yeah. From like the balls that's got 5 times.
You talked about that Dawson one before we were on air. We talked about the West Ham United game. If Dawson had nodded that in, 91st minute of the game and won it, like it would have been unreal. But
and clothes would have been taken off. I'd be out there.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that didn't happen.
Man, I think you're doing Matt a bit of a disservice there, Simon. But well,
he said he wanted to have sex with you earlier.
It's very true.
It's very true. But yeah, no, it's just really cool, isn't it? And like even going back to say like for us earlier in the season, and I know this wasn't the very last, the Fulham game where we've gone 1-0 up in the 91st minute. And then we've celebrated, like that's the winner, we've won it. And then we concede the penalty. And then you're like, oh no. And then Lookman does that daft fucking Panenka attempt. Fabianski catches it. And then it's like you've not only got the fucking last minute goal celebration of jumping up and down, you've then also got a last minute like penalty celebration save. And it was just, last minute stuff is glorious. We've obviously covered Sergio Aguero winning the title enough, haven't we? So yeah, no, that's a solid number 1. And my number 1, it kind of sort of mixes into a lot of what we've talked about already. It's just the match day atmosphere at the stadium in general, really. So we've kind of probably discussed enough elements of that all in, really. But that was my number 1, just that general atmosphere of being at a game, really. That's like what separates watching football in the stadium and than on telly, really, isn't it?
Well,
really.
I think it's a purely English thing as well. Because not purely English, but like you see some countries where the atmosphere looks absolutely dead and like, have you ever seen it like in the MLS? And I know it's not.
Oh no, it's shite, isn't it? Yeah.
But some of the crowds, you're like, what are you doing? Like, you're not fans? What the fuck are you on?
Yeah, well, they're just there because it's something to do. It's like they're going to the Olympics or something. But because also when it's like mixed crowd, like I don't get how at the Super Bowl they have mixed crowds. Like, should he just segregate them out? Like, I love the fact that at Wembley it's just like a bunch of red shirts and a bunch of blue shirts, or you know,
those are the best cup finals as well. When it's a red blue team, both ends of the crowd. You have one side red, one side blue. It's a great like visual look of Wembley.
Yeah, and it's just the divide, and I mean, we're most likely not going to go back this season, especially our season, because our season ends in March. May, yeah. But I am sad that we haven't been able to go there this season. But I'm looking forward to going back. I'm really looking forward to going back. Just because I just want to go out the house, but also just generally.
Yeah.
Like, I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Q1,
and I never thought I'd miss going to that stadium as much as I have. So, yeah, looking forward to getting back.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, that's fair. So, do you want to give us a rendition of your list then, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. So, at number 10, it was just shithousery. But in particular, the shithousery foul of Mark Noble. Player in. 9 is the stupid transfer rumours. Number 8, I love a long throw. Number 7 is when centre-backs just whack the ball and go for it. Number 6 are playoffs. 5 are matchday rituals. 4 is the kind of pub atmosphere during the 2018 World Cup. 3 are cup sets. 2 is the documentaries in club dressing rooms, that sort of thing. And number 1 are giving it to the opposition fans.
Nice one.
Giving it to them.
Yeah, and your top 10, Simon?
So my top 10 at number 10 mid-table is the Winter Ball, which comes out from November to kind of March time. Number 9, goals which go in off the bar are undoubtedly the best type of goals. Number 8, a red card for the opposition in the crowd, in the ground. Number 7, when you pick the career of a young player very early on and watch them develop. Number 6, penalty shootout. Number 5, you've got the playoffs. Number 4, just inventive football chants. I love them. Number 3, the dark arts of the game. Number 2, kind of the global nature and the fact you can connect with anyone about football if they like it. And number 1, the last minute winners.
Nice one, mate. So, yeah, my top 10. At number 10, I've got an opposition disallowed goal. Number 9, good old crunching tackle. 8, when a player tries something different but completely fucks it up. Number 7, passionate managers on the touchline. Number 6, an early kickoff win. 5, outside of the box screamers. 4, pub with the lads. 3, game day rituals. 2, watching match of the day. And number 1, the atmosphere of a game. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next episode. That's half time. Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of this Mid-Table and Up podcast episode. Part 2 will be available to listen to very soon. If you enjoy our content, please follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Be sure to download us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Acast and SoundCloud. Thank you very much and we'll see you in parts 2.